I love that introduction song written by Danny Koch, and I love the work that he does. If you are a Mission Impossible fan, he has done some of the music for that and the trailers for that. And I love that he has come alongside Simply Sarah and is supporting what we are doing here. So the intro and the outro are by him. I'm excited today for you to be here for this conversation. We've been having conversations about resilience and other things, and that has just seemed to be a topic that keeps showing up in such beautiful, expressive ways. And I'm so pleased that today's guest is somebody that we re-invited back to the studio. Before we get there, I want to say thank you to our sponsors, LamanoArt.com and also the Stegner family for their support. And as we are saying hello to Nancy Dillingham Marks, we are just thrilled to have you once again come join us. Thank you for being here, friend.
Oh, Sarah, thank you. I'm so excited to be back again.
This is going to be a fun conversation. You left the corporate world and then ventured into the world of expression, the world of fairies, the world of art, the world of breaking glass. How did you get from one place to the other?
Oh, it's all because of my mom.
Hmm.
They moved out to California to be closer to me in their later years so I could help more. And they were in an assisted living facility. And there was someone who came on site and taught fused glass. And I'd never heard of it. I did try a lot of different mediums of artistic areas and never felt I had a connection with any of them. It got to the point where I was telling myself I don't have a creative bone in my body. Um,
Hmm.
oh, what a bad thing to say to myself. Bad talk. I Negative talk is amazing. But you know what? Because of my mom, I ignored that conversation because I wanted to learn about this craft so I had something to do with mom.
Hmm.
And so I took a class and I got hooked, line and sinker. But there's no sinker involved. It
Yeah.
has been a catch beyond belief.
Hmm. I love this nugget that you've already shared with us about negative talk and how loud it can be and pervasive in our conversations, our internal conversations. And for you to say, I'm going to be curious and I'm going to try something new and different. And for that to literally open up doors to new things, new people, new opportunities. That's just such a tremendous, amazing, quinky dink, incredible story. I love that. What has been one of the things that you have found that you have brought with you from your work in the technical world? You are somebody who understands technology so incredibly well. So, what are some of the pieces that you brought with you intrinsically from what you had been doing in the corporate world into what you are doing now as a solopreneur?
Oh, Sarah, there are so many things. I learned pretty early on that every job I had, I took something with me to the next job. And
Mm.
it just kept building and building and making my roles better everywhere I went. But some of the nuggets that were for me was when I was selling technology, it was really important to me to have a win 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 situation. And by that, I mean, the customer understands what they're getting and they're actually able to explain it to people around them and explain why the decision was made so they look good because they're informed. I wanted to represent the manufacturer correctly. I didn't want to sell just anything. I wanted to sell the right solution for the customer. And
Mhm.
then for the company I was working for, I wanted them to look really good because we did the right thing. And if we didn't have the right thing, I was honest about it. I was
Yes.
not just going to sell something to make a sale. It had to be a successful and a win win win.
Yes. And you've brought that now over to what you are doing as well. I love that concept of seeing who your audience is and making sure that what you are providing us what they are looking for, and that they are able to talk about it in such a way that they own it. That's so powerful. And then to make sure that it was working for your company and for all the different pieces, the manufacturer as well, so that all of the people were in a space of it being a positive, forward moving experience. Because you and I both know that technology fear, technology concern for some people to learn new technology is a legitimate piece.
Absolutely. And it's a and the exact same words can be used again, but with any art form.
Yes.
So you really want to own it. You really want to be comfortable with it. You really want to be able to make the instrument or the paintbrush or the clay or whatever medium you're working with be the right thing and to make you feel good. And whoever's looking at it will hopefully feel all of that positive energy as well. Now, not everyone's going to like everything I do, and not this isn't the right thing for everyone. And that's okay. It's not like everything fits everyone.
Hmm. That's another gem, Nancy, because not everything is supposed to fit everyone. You go into a shoe store and there are lots of different expressions of things that we put on our feet, right? And different sizes and different colors. And that's because we are individually expressive. And for different things, we need different shoes. And I think the same thing about artwork. We brought a few pieces with us, our favorite pieces when we relocated. And then we discovered that we didn't have the same type of wall space to hang everything up in. And so it became kind of in this new space, then, what new artwork are we going to be looking for? And thankfully, I happen to have a brother in law who asked me for my birthday. Actually, he asked me some favorite pictures that I had of our daughter and his brother and my daughter. And I sent several. And for my birthday, he sent me watercolors that he had done of them that are just so beautiful. So we're in the process of getting those framed so we can put them up. And so that space also of new spaces require new energy. And the new energy is sometimes already there, but finding pieces of art that actually match in with who you are in the moment and then also what that space is asking for, I think is also another piece that keeps artwork very, very fresh.
Absolutely. And I have a community of artists that are associated with the studio, and the community is phenomenal. I couldn't have imagined when I opened up the studio, and even when I was thinking about the studio, to have created such a phenomenal group of people to come together. And it is so much fun. And everyone has a different technique, a different color palette. They're coming from different places in their lives and their backgrounds, and everyone gets along so well. You would have thought they've been friends since childhood.
Yeah.
And the age bracket range is just amazing as well. And no one feels that
Mhm.
they
You're
don't belong.
all as well.
So it is wonderful because I might be stuck a little bit one day. Maybe I
Mhm.
came in and somebody cut me off on the roads, and somebody was driving really slowly or not correctly, and you get a little out of sorts. First off, I realize how ridiculous that is and how ridiculous it sounds to get out of sorts over something like that. So that's another lesson I've learned, that is just, oh, come on, get over it. And when I say that to myself, I start laughing because it's
Mm.
so true. Why do I care? Right? But I
Yes.
can come in and see someone else doing work, and it just inspires me. It re energizes me.
Mm.
It just takes away any negativity of what's happening outside the walls of the studio. And we
Yes.
just have this incredible, colorful environment here. And this is my studio behind me. I am really proud of it. And there's tremendous amount of work on the walls and
Mhm.
on the tables. It's a little mini paradise.
It is. And I uh, love that space of you saying that when you come in and begin to create, that whatever the expectations were about the drivers around you, that you thought they should be going at a certain speed and they weren't, that begins to melt away. And I find that for myself as well, that when I am in the action of creating or the action of doing something that I enjoy, like gardening, that can for me physically help me move literally from being frustrated that I had an expectation that wasn't met and being able to move into the, hey, I'm here now and I'm safe, all is well, and being able to move forward in that space as well. I find that to be such a powerful piece for myself. And I really hope that our listeners will consider what it looks like to potentially begin to be open to being curious, experimenting with different ways of being creative, because we are creative beings, I believe.
Absolutely. And another nugget that I brought with me was when I get frustrated doing something and it just isn't working right and I just can't
Mm,
figure it out, I step away from it
mm,
and I do something else. Now, at the time, it wasn't per se art, but it was something creative. And so
yes.
I found something to do that brought me joy
Mm,
and made me happy. And when I went back, and it didn't have to take long, I mean,
right.
5, 10 minutes away from the frustration and oh my gosh, this is, and in your mind, that negative self talk says you can't step away. You don't have time to step away. And
Right.
again, oh, knock that right off my shoulder. Which one is negative? Which one's positive? I'm keeping the positive side. And
Yes.
I walk back and I sit down again. My head has been cleared. And all of a sudden,
Mm,
the solution's right there in front of me. And I just couldn't see it because I let myself get twisted.
mm. Albert Einstein used to either go for a walk or pick up his violin and play, and when he got stuck on something. So he would come to a point and see that he wasn't sure how to move forward in his processing and his thinking and his writing. And he would give his brain that question of, this is what I'm working on. And then he would begin to do something else, allowing his brain the opportunity to begin to figure it out. Now, by playing his violin, he was using both hands. By going out for a walk, he was using both of his feet. And that space of bilateral movement is something that really can help our brain work on the problem all by itself and come to a solution. And focusing on something else is just such a beautiful way. And if we give our brain that permission of saying, it's not that I am giving up on this, I am just giving this question an opportunity to breathe, an opportunity to sort itself out in the unseen world so that I can connect back in with different answers, with a different way of moving forward.
Absolutely. I have a story that I love. There was a mom who came in early on with her daughter and her daughter's friend. And she very quickly told me, take care of the girls. I'm going to go sit at the other table. What's your Wi Fi? I need to get a project done. I can't get it done. I'm just stuck on it and I need to get this done. But just take care of the girls and let me know when you guys are done. And I just looked at her and I said, you need to come over and break glass. You
Yeah.
just need to learn how to do it because the girl's going to want to talk to you about it and share with you, and you should know what it's about. And she's like, no, 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 I don't have time. And I said, I promise it won't take you very long at all. And she just looked at me and I just smiled at her. And she came over and she broke glass with the girls.
Mm,
She said, I'm taking the whole class. She realized what a mind shift happened in those few moments
mm,
and how much pleasure and satisfaction
mm.
she got out of just breaking a piece of glass safely and correctly.
Right. How remarkable that when we are given this space to safely and correctly do something that we've been told all of our life, don't do that because you'll get hurt. Don't break the glass, or, oh, the glass is on the tile floor and it's in a whole bunch of pieces and we've got to clean this up. Do you have shoes on? Somebody else from the room next door, right?
Yeah.
And so that whole place of don't get hurt. And so to come into a place like your studio where we're going to learn how to do this. We're going to do it well. We're going to be safe with it. We're going to be creative with it. Let's just have fun. And how that shifts so much. Being able to break something that we were told never to do. What a beautiful, beautiful thing that is.
Absolutely. And she called me the next morning and she was so excited to share with me that when she got home, she sat down on her computer and the answer was right there. And she got the project done in no time flat. And she couldn't believe that taking that break made such a difference.
Yes.
And
Yes.
having that creativity just soak right through her. I mean, she was just engulfed in it. It was beautiful.
That's so, so lovely. We're going to continue our conversation. We're going to take a quick break here. We'll be right back.
Hey Pamela, would you like to share anything about today's Art of Forgiving class?
Sure. So, I have now taken the Art of Forgiving class a few times, trial runs, actual runs, just so many times, and I love it every time. But so far, I've only ever drawn someone that I felt like I needed to forgive. And then today, for some reason, I really got stuck on the words like an event or someone. So I decided to go with an event. I actually broke my toe this weekend. It's been a hard weekend, even though it sounds so minor. It's really had a big influence on me. So I decided to draw just from memory the event of me breaking my toe and kind of how it happened. So here's my drawing. You can kind of see it's not fully complete yet. I still want to add some more color. But I think it was really important for me to draw this because I tend to have a harder time of forgiving myself for something that I did wrong that then hinders my life than if someone else would have wronged me. If someone had stepped on my toe and it broke, I would have gotten over that faster than the past few days I've just been dwelling on what could I have done differently. How could I not be in the situation that I am today and why me? And I feel like it really helped take those questions out of my mind and just paint it as a really beautiful scene. And I'll be recognized that it was something that was meant to happen.
I've also taken Lamano Art's Art of Forgiving class, and it is an exceptional experience. In this conversation with Nancy, we're talking about breaking glass. I love your Glass Arts Collective and how supportive you have been. Simply Sarah, thank you so much for that. Tell us a little bit about winning this award for your fairy garden. What was that experience like for you?
This was the first time I have entered a piece of art that I've done in a competition. And it was a little bit of imposter syndrome still sticking around, which I didn't even realize why I hadn't done it sooner. But I stepped up and I took the chance and I came in basically second. I got an honorable mention and it felt so good to be recognized by the Westlake Village Art Guild, an amazing, amazing group of artists, and to be honored with a award. I've also been blessed that the city of Westlake Village, the Los Angeles County, and the Chamber of Commerce have all recognized my business skills and the business I've created as being a valuable addition to our communities. So I'm now honored on the business side and on my artistic side. And I feel like I'm floating on a cloud.
That's so beautiful. Speak a little bit, friend, about the imposter syndrome. What were some of the things that you noticed in the ways that it showed up, and then also in how you chose to react to it?
Well, one of the things that I have also learned, another nugget from business, is that it's important for the people around me that we're all on the same page and we're all understanding what kind of the goals are. And whether it's a department or a studio, So I talk a lot to the people, my artist community, about what's important to them. What kinds of things are they looking for? Many of them have entered various competitions, and that was so important to them. And I didn't really fully understand why, but I also felt they were so much better than I am in their particular area of the techniques they're using.
Mhm.
And so I was comparing myself, which again is negative talk. And I realized I had to get out of that. I have to be a role model that shows that I can step up and I can share and show myself. So, one of the other things I had done was last year we had an artist exhibit for all of the community that wanted to participate. And they would have a whole month that their art was on exhibit, and we'd have a reception for them.
Yes.
And at the end of the year, one of them came to me and she said, "Why didn't you ever have an artist table?"
Mm.
And it was like, that's a really good question. So that was also part of my realization that I didn't feel I was as qualified or as aware of my full quality of skills, shall we say. I didn't want to recognize my talents as much as I wanted to recognize theirs.
Mm.
So this April will be my month where I will have an exhibit and I will be the one featured. And I can't wait. I'm actually so excited about it. And so it mentally has made such a difference for me as well. Um, my heart is open so much more now. And I thought it was open pretty far before, but I am just inviting so many more like minded people
Mm.
that love art. We're having a lot of new people coming in, and we're having a lot more people in our gift shop, online, and in the studio.
Beautiful.
And everyone talks about the energy when they walk in the studio. Of course, I can't hear them when they're looking at it online, but
Right.
when they come in the studio, they're just looking around going, "Oh my God, what a hidden gem you are here. Oh my, this is all handcrafted." And it's, yes, it's all handcrafted by the people associated with my studio, and
Yes.
they're one of a kind. No one wanted to make this the same twice. Every piece is unique.
Yes.
So, it's like, do you want the mass production number 3,000, 800, whatever, or do you want one of one?
Yes.
And I've had people come back in and tell me how much the gift was appreciated.
Mhm.
We've also done customization and commission work where someone will find a design in a platter or a tray, a bowl, wall art, garden art, table art, and say, I love this, but my friend's colors are. Could we do it in those colors? And it's like, yes, yes, we can. And so that has made that person, again, win, win, win. So now the gift giver
Yes.
looks like such a hero to their friends. The friends are thrilled. And we made a difference by making that all come together. So
Yes.
it's fun how many times I sort of sit back and I'm almost a fly on the wall watching things happen and just kind of going,
Mm.
I created this, but this community made it happen.
Yes. When I think of your story, I think about how you saw that it made a difference for your mom to be able to break glass, that you saw it made a difference for you. You knew it could make a difference for other people. And so then as you are offering this, your eyes are on other people. Yes, your skill level is changing as you play with different colors, as you try different techniques, as you uh, expand your skill level with what you are doing. But your eyes are still on others, and offering each month for there to be a different artist to come in and then to have a reception for them. How brilliant is that? Because now they're able to bring other people in to see their gallery of work as well. And so I'm not that surprised that it took you for someone else to say, hey, what about your table? What about your time to be able to do this? And I also love that you chose to submit something in competition, in part because you had heard other people say how exciting it was for them, and that you wanted to have that experience of going through that process and doing all the different things. Because it's not just making the piece and then submitting it, there is always more that goes along with it. And now you can speak about that from the inside, in addition to having your work appreciated and winning a ribbon. How exciting is that?
Oh, it was so exciting. And it was a very funny day. It was raining and raining harder than we were expecting. And my husband ended up taking the wrong exit. And we got around things and we got here. And then one of the other people from the studio just arrived. So we waited for them and we all ran in. And all of a sudden, there's applause and they're yelling, "She's here, she's here." And I'm like, what in the world? And there's applause. And my friend who had just stepped in as well looked up and said, "You just won."
Mm,
And it was like, they said, "Your timing could not have been any better. We just announced that you were the winner of,
that's so
you know."
good.
And it was like, I literally was stunned.
Mm,
It took me a little bit to like gather my thoughts and put it all together and realize what they'd said because I
mm,
never anticipated winning.
yeah.
And so it was like, I won. You won. And so I was getting all these hugs from people that I knew from the guild and from other people who had come to see everything. And
Mm,
I felt so incredible. I felt so special. I felt seen.
yeah.
And, I brought with me my business sense. I was a business owner first. I knew how to run
Yes.
a business, even though I
Yes.
never owned my own. So it was like, okay, I know how to run a business. I can bring other people in to help me.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, when I started my business, 5 weeks later, COVID hit.
Right.
So I had that fun experience and just a little bit of learning about mindset. I know everyone was impacted by COVID in so many
Mm,
different ways and not all of them good. And what I did was I realized that all my life, adult life, I was always saying, I wish I had more time.
mhm.
I wish there were more hours in the day.
Yeah.
And I was suddenly gifted that time.
Yes.
And I said to myself, I'm not going to waste it. And I worked on my skills. There were a lot of online classes I could take and a lot of videos I could watch. And I would push the envelope. I would challenge what I was told was right or wrong. And it was amazing. You know, I wish it hadn't lasted as long as it did.
Mm,
Um, and again, I'm so sorry for those who have lost someone in
yes.
that time frame. But I did something for me that I could manage.
Mhm.
And I went through and had so much joy. And
Mhm.
people started, as California started to open up, people started finding the studio and were coming in for the sanctuary and the
Yes.
mental health benefits of
Yes.
working in art. And
Yes.
they felt my energy and they felt the studio's energy. And this became our happy place.
Yes. A safe space with community. Such two highly valued, beautiful pieces that enhance our life at every single step. A
Yes.
healthy community, a safe sanctuary. So incredible. In this space of talking about resilience, you share that you had opened up the shop 5 weeks before the shutdown in California. What were some of the pieces that you did, or ways that you continued to promote Glass Arts Collective during the shutdown?
Well, the one thing I had not brought with me was what to do about marketing.
Mm,
So I was taking classes and I the website had already been built out, but I was adding to it the types of things that people might need to know, the questions they might be asking. How could I enhance the gift shop so when someone found it online, it answered the questions, as many as I could think of,
Mhm.
to help them be excited about it.
Mm.
I was advertising in the local newspaper that we had, and I was just talking about it any chance I got. So if somebody might call, somebody might just say, "Hey, I know we can't come yet, but I'm surprised you're there." And I said, "Well, I'm by myself, so I figured I'm allowed to be here." And I would talk to people, and they would get excited. My energy kind of comes across. I'm not somebody who has a poker face. I am excited and highly energetic, and people would feel that, and they'd feel the compassion that I have for others.
Mm.
And I got involved with the Chamber of Commerce right away. And
Mm.
some of the other groups I participated in, they were doing Zoom calls. And so I was able to, again, continue to talk about the studio, show pieces I was making,
Mm.
and just share how great it is to have something that you're passionate about. And it could be people who like to doodle, it could be somebody who likes to just draw, and you forget that you have those things that you enjoy. And somehow you always have reasons you don't have enough time each day to do them.
Mm.
And when you're reminded that it doesn't have to be every day,
Right.
can you find 5 minutes in a week?
Yeah.
And almost everyone says, "Oh, yeah, I can find 5 minutes." And you don't have to necessarily change your clothes, and you don't have to go pull out a whole bunch of stuff. There's so many things that you can do sitting on the bus, sitting in
Mhm.
the back seat while someone else is driving, sitting and waiting at an airport,
Mhm.
that just help kind of kill the time. And just, you can
Mm.
do something and take your mind again out of that stress and high pressure and high conflict environment.
Mhm.
Focus on something that you enjoy.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how time really flies
Mm.
when you are having fun. That phrase is true.
I feel like time becomes really compressed when when I'm really into what I'm working on. It
Yeah,
just seems to go so quickly. Like it was just compressed. How did that happen? So,
exactly. Where'd the time go? You hear
right.
that phrase. It's
Yes.
real.
As you are thinking about where you have been with Glass Arts Collective, where you are now, take us a little bit into the future. What are you seeing as being some of the things that you are dreaming into reality?
It's a funny thing that you ask because I feel like I've been thinking about that recently. And I feel like I have done so much already. But our gift shop is now online, shipping throughout the United States. So we're still trying to do some optimization for that. We're now with Google Merchant. We're going to be with Pinterest in the near future as well for the gift shop. And I think it's really trying to help people find those special gifts
Mhm.
that they're looking for, and knowing that if it isn't quite right, let us help you.
Mm.
So it's been an interesting beginning of the new year. One of the things that I was thinking about, what would I do now? It's 2025. What am I going to do now? And I really saw more customization and commission work coming.
Mm.
And whether it's something for somebody's kitchen living room, something that's like, that wall, that sort of pass through that a lot of people have. Maybe we're going to put some art there for you. Maybe somebody's getting a new place and wants some new art on the wall.
Mhm.
Maybe somebody's redoing their gardens and wants some garden art. I personally am working with a metal worker, and we're just at the very beginning stages,
Mm.
and I am going to create a glass screen that will be in our front yard. So we're going to take out this really ugly bush that isn't very healthy, and we're going to put a colorful art piece out in the
Mm.
front.
A statement piece. How absolutely that's just I'm seeing it in my mind's eye, and I'm loving the colors and I'm loving how the light is coming through the different pieces of glass. How delightful.
Yeah, there'll be flow, there'll be colors, there'll be some transparents where you can see through them. They're going to be opalescents where you can't, but the light is still going to reflect off of it. And
Yes.
it'll be in probably 3 sections. We're hoping
Mhm.
actually in the next few weeks to start the real design of it. And so this metal worker's never worked with glass, and so she's really excited. And I think
Yes.
we're going to, and I got my husband's approval, very important part, first and foremost. And I'm really, really excited
Mhm.
about doing something so large and so special and really putting my art out there.
Yes. Yes. Take the idea of the fairy garden and make it your garden.
Exactly. That's exactly right. I have a few pieces of art in the garden,
Mhm.
but they don't really stand out as much. It'd be
Right.
very easy to drive by and not even notice them.
Mhm.
This piece you're not going to be able to miss,
I
and
love
I am so excited. And I have a little miniature drawing of it just to try to share with my friends
it.
because
Mhm.
uh, architectural drawing is not my thing. But about 2:30 in the morning one day, I went downstairs because I couldn't sleep. My head was spinning with all of this, and I found a free architectural drawing software. And I started playing with it and created a very, very, very rudimentary picture of what I'm thinking of. And it just brings it even more to life. So
Mhm.
I'm the little kid who can't wait to get started now.
It's like Christmas morning, right? That anticipation is building up, and now you're ready to start making it happen. Put the bicycle together.
Exactly.
Yes. So, will you be creating pieces of glass to go into this, or are those pieces already created and the metal worker is going to be faceting them?
I've started with some pieces, some smaller pieces, because I couldn't not do it.
Right.
But I'm not sure, I'm not fully sure of the dimensions yet.
Mhm.
So I don't want to build anything that's not going to be ultimately fit. So I'm really hoping that the design is such that we can actually remove pieces if we needed to. If something got broken, that
Right.
we could actually remove it and replace it. That there's space in between the glass so that we in the metalwork that's holding it
Yes.
for air to go through, so we don't have worries about big winds
Right.
and with all of the different things poor Mother Nature is doing to us these days. I want to try to kind of foresee what could possibly
Mhm.
happen. And the metal worker that I'm working with already, she is phenomenal. She has done some of the most amazing work, and she's done a lot of outdoor exhibition pieces and pieces that
Perfect.
are built into then and attached to sides of buildings
Mhm.
or flower vases and it'll be something I continue to share, and we will be co-marketing this entire project.
Oh, I look forward to watching the process on your Instagram. It's going to be so exciting to watch that, to see all the different parts of it. Friend, you have a podcast. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I have a podcast coming up. I've already started the recording, and it's called Artistic Exchange Podcast. I've seen here at the studio how excited artists get when they get to share their story. And so many of them don't really have a platform to do that.
You're right.
So I want to give them the ability to do that and for people to find them.
Mhm.
And um, it's it's an exciting project. It's going to be something whether you're a hobbyist or a professional.
Mhm.
And the word art does not have a very clear definition.
You're right.
So it opens up the world. I have the conductor of the New West Symphony already recorded. I have
Beautiful.
someone who does quilting, metalworking, surprise, surprise, a writer and a
Mm.
poet and a painter. It's just phenomenal, all that I have.
Mhm.
And I've got a delivery
Mm.
here.
That's okay. Do you
I'm
need to go
sorry.
take it? Nope, go take the delivery. Absolutely fine. loving this conversation with her, loving the opportunity to talk about the things that are important to Nancy. I'm also loving that Glass Arts Collective is something that is so available for the people who live in Southern California. The opportunity to go in to create parties if you want to go with other people, to go in by yourself. All of those pieces are absolutely available. And you're back. That was super fast, Nancy.
I'm so sorry. Life
All is
happens,
well.
right? And I love what you were saying. We also do team building sessions as well. So, birthday parties have been very popular, not only for kids, we teach 7 and up, but also for adults. And we
Mhm.
even had a bridal shower. It was the bride meeting the husband's side of the family, and she had not met most of them yet. And so it took her out of being everyone staring at her to
Right.
everyone sharing the same experience, having a lot of fun. And then there was some extra time that was provided so that they could have her open gifts and hear
Mm.
the stories about her a future husband. And oh gosh, even though I wasn't part of that family, I felt so connected for a little while, looking at all the joy that all of them were feeling.
Mhm.
And that was so much fun.
I think it's so wise to have conversations doing something where everybody's involved when possible. I know that when we get together, even for our family reunions, there are several people who are like, okay, where are we hiking today? You know, where are we going to go? What's the plan? And it's not mandatory that everybody participate.
Right.
The family picture is the mandatory part. So be there, be on time. And we know which members to tell to be there early so that they're there on the time that the picture is going to be taken, right? So you get those things figured out. But that space of we are doing this together. And then
Yeah.
oftentimes there'll be a picture taken at the summit of whatever, or to the end point of whatever. And we have an aura, a family aura, that the slide this shows, the pictures go through. And it's just really fun. Mom today said to me, stopped me and said, now, where is this picture taken? And it was at the Wilson Observatory.
Wow.
There's just, you couldn't see the whole, there was enough of it that you couldn't see to be able to clearly identify what the experience was about. But just how incredible that is to be doing something together. And
Absolutely.
I maybe watching a movie can have that if you have the afterwards of talking about it. But I really do like and as somebody who can lean into being a pretty serious introvert, it can take a little bit of me just breathing into it. It's going to be okay. We're going to do this together. Everybody's going to be there. There can be those levels of self-talk that go along for me. And yet the beauty of the experience together is something that's really something I'm very excited about.
Yeah, when people come in for a team building session, they too are all like completely confused. What is this? And
Mhm.
everyone's really apprehensive at first. And then they get into it and it's like, this is a lot of fun. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to bring my kids or my spouse or my friends. You do wine nights, right? And then I actually call it wine by the glass, just to be my corny self.
I
Um,
love that.
and so it's really, I know that when I went to team building sessions in the past, it was
Mhm.
usually a lunch or a dinner, and you sat usually with the same people and you had the same, you had conversations with the same people, and you still didn't really get to know the other people very well. Um, and I went to one where we had to do rock climbing. Um,
Mm.
and I really wasn't the least bit comfortable, and neither were the majority of the people.
Yeah,
And I felt bad because I know that the person who put it together meant well
yeah,
and really wanted everyone to have that special experience.
right.
And so when I see everyone really excited about the experience here, I'm like,
Mhm.
that's what I know every manager wants, is that the
Yes.
team feels really good and appreciates that manager who put it together.
Yes.
Oh, look, another win-win-win.
Yes, another one. In that space also, Nancy, it's giving most people haven't broken glass. So it gives everybody an opportunity to do something new together. And that becomes part of the strength of the team. Because so often when we do these team buildings, we're wanting the people who have wisdom to be easily sharing it with people who are brand new, creating the culture, right? Telling
Right.
the stories, because that's how we develop the culture of who we are. It's how we move the culture forward also, is to not forget. And so that's that moving back or going back to that space of, sitting outside under the stars and having a fire going and sharing the stories of who the tribe is. That's what
Yes.
we're trying to do in business in some ways. And, this is who we are. And when you have people who have done the thing or are playing something like golf where you have two people in a cart, maybe four at the hole together, you're not getting everybody doing something together. But when they come to you, everybody's in that one space together. It's happening at the same time. Different people are talking differently about what they're working on. Some are going to be very, very quiet and very serious as they try to figure it out. And others are going to be very much, the personalities come out, right? Some are just going to be very, open and woohoo, look, we broke more glass.
Exactly. And it is one of the greatest pleasures is watching people's facial expressions as
Yes.
they get it, as it comes together, as it clicks. It is so much fun to watch and to share that with them. And I have corny jokes. So the kids, when they come in, they're usually a little nervous at first, and we get the jokes out of the way and they start to relax. They start to have fun. They start to laugh. And all of a sudden, that fear factor kind of goes away.
Mm,
And watching families come in, especially three generations all doing something together,
yes.
it's so special. It really is.
Yes.
And moms and daughters come in, fathers and daughters, any combination of family. It's
Yes.
always been so important to me. And it's a beautiful thing to see around me.
Mm. So, so good. I love that we've shared a little bit you have of how you got to where you are today in opening up Glass Arts Collective. I love that you've shared the win-win-win concept, that you've talked about what's ahead of you, putting a couple different mediums together to be able to create different, bigger lawn art. And then this space of opening up your space, your studio, for people to come in different groups in different ways to be able to share and experience this together. What are some of the things that you like for people to know before they come in to experience your place, if they're going to come in to cut glass or break glass?
Well, one of the things that I always ask one is that you please wear closed-toed shoes,
Mhm.
because there is a chance some glass can fall, and I don't want it to get caught in your shoes. Most of the time, people don't even realize it dropped, and it's always
Right,
by accident. Nobody's doing it on purpose,
right.
but it's a safety thing. And we go over safety multiple times, especially as silly as it sounds with adults. Kids really pay attention more than adults do to all of the details. But it's if you're paying attention and you're doing it the way we describe and the safety, most people don't get cut at all. But some people get poked. And usually it's such a light poke you didn't even feel it.
Right.
But I can't remember someone actually slicing their finger
Mhm.
ever. Um, Now, in a class. Now, sometimes it happens when I'm grabbing something and somebody calls my name and I turn and it's like, oops, but
Yes.
I've never had stitches. It's like it's glass sounds like it's going to be the worst thing to work with. It's going to be so dangerous. And it
Mm.
really isn't.
Yeah.
It's beautiful and it's got great
Mm.
energy, but you do have to pay attention.
Yes. Have you thought about doing field trips to places that have glass, whether it happens to be a gallery of some kind, or I'm thinking of the Presbyterian Church in Claremont, California, that they had these beautiful chunk stained glass windows made in the 60s. It's
Wow.
very, very 60s. And they will every now and then have an artist or somebody who knows walk you through all of the different pieces that are there. They have Father Sarah on one of the the areas. It's interesting because they bring in California history as well into it. But I'm just seeing with your enthusiasm and your excitement for people to see a bigger picture, or maybe you grab pictures from other places and show them in a slideshow again for people to get a bigger picture of what it could look like, including your lawn art once it's up and the sun is shining through it. I don't know. These thoughts are just starting to flow for me.
Oh, Sarah, actually, I really have. It's a little more complicated than I thought trying to get people together to do things.
Oh,
Um, and in California, it isn't really easy to get anywhere quickly,
true.
um, because there's so many places in our local areas that would be wonderful to go and
Mm,
see and get tours. And I would love that. But your idea of getting pictures is a
yes.
fantastic idea. And I'm definitely going to look into that more because I think that that would just help bring so much more to everyone.
Yes.
And a much larger audience could have an opportunity to see so much more.
Mhm. And I
Thank
think
you.
you're welcome. I think also as people are coming in who are getting stuck on ideas or feeling uncertain, when you show different genres of things that have already been done, it gives them the opportunity to start thinking a little bit differently. Like, I think that hummingbirds are beautiful. I wouldn't necessarily walk into Glass Arts Collective and say, hey, this is what I want to create, because the proportionality of it wouldn't necessarily show up the first time through for me, right?
Right.
But yet being able to see someone else's work of that then begins to open up ideas of how that could possibly, in the future, potentially, how that could possibly work. So again, it also plants seeds for people, and I'm still absolutely loving. I'm beginning to see gates now with the glass in it, and
Yep.
metal gates that people can go into their backyards and that have that beautiful, gorgeous artwork that is such a statement piece, expressive, free flowing, um,
And to
very
have the
delicate.
beautiful metalwork, not just simple metalwork around it, but designer metalwork around it, and to really show off her art as well is going to be phenomenal. We do have a lot of art on our walls and throughout the studio for inspiration purposes.
Wonderful.
Um, and our classes are really designed around teaching techniques.
Mhm.
So we have specific classes, and the projects are all designed to help teach those techniques. And then we move people to open studio when they're ready. And that's where you have the techniques you want to do, but now you want to make what you'd like to make.
So good.
So that's where you get to take the techniques and really explore the fun things that you can do with all of it. And there are so many fantastic instructors online that
Mm,
help teach things, as well as good old Pinterest. I love that platform, has
yes.
amazing artists on it, as well as many other platforms out there. And you can really start to see all the possibilities. And there's so many times that we see things that aren't done in glass,
Mhm.
but because we know the techniques, we can put it together with a picture in front of us for some of us, because I can't draw. But a picture in front of me, I can then take the colors that I'm interested and size it the way I want and create
Mm,
the hummingbird of my imagination.
yes. Oh, that's so good. Well, as we're coming to a close in this conversation, friend, are there things that you would like to leave our audience with, that you'd like to reiterate?
The gift shop, I think, really is an amazing place. And
It
we
is.
ship throughout the United States. So we can help get that gift to where you want it to be. And yes, we can pack up glass and have it shipped properly.
Yes.
And so it's at glassartscollective.com, and it's the gift shop. So it's part of my website. And the gift shop has 13 artists in it today. And
Mm,
we have it broken down by, you can see it by artist, or you can see it by the type of project or product that you're looking for.
mhm.
And then as you're going through it, each piece tells you who the artist is. So maybe you're just scanning and you find yourself constantly attracted to my work. You can just
Yes.
go and pick just myself and just see all of the things that I've done. So it's kind of a fun way of looking at it. Now, in the past, I never would have picked my name as the one that you might go looking at. But you know what? I'm putting it right out there to the universe.
Absolutely. And the piece that I have over my shoulder is actually one that you made. So it's a beautiful cobalt blue glass container that I absolutely love. And you're right, you guys are able to ship things all across the country, and it got here just perfectly packed. So thank you.
You're so welcome.
Well, thank you also for this incredible conversation. It's just so nice to have you back in studio, and we wish you so well in all of the endeavors that you have in front of you, friend.
Oh, Sarah, thank you so much. I just so enjoy conversations with you. And again, the time flies by so quickly when you're having fun.
It does. Yes. Until next time, friend. Thank you. And to our audience, we say thank you so much for being here, for listening in, for considering the win-win-win opportunities that you are engaged with. I think that they are out there around us all of the time, and take good care of you. Until next time.